wanted to, set the expectations for Hawks fans watching this. This isn't a guy that's going to be able to bang and guard some of the best NBA centers when it comes to the league. Now, can he guard some fours? Can he guard some wings? Absolutely. I think that would be the role better suited for him. But I don't see him coming in day one and being better than Clint Capela, and I don't see him being better than Onyeka. I just don't. As we look at his tape again, he's moving his feet. He's a great defender in space, but I don't think that he's a better defender than either Clint Capela or Onyeka when they enter the draft. So that says a lot. Hey, what's up, world? It's your man Mark Cheney here with another episode of Sip and Scout. On today's show, it's pretty obvious, it's pretty clear. We're going to be going into Alex Sarr, the number one prospect. We're going to jump into his film. We're going to talk about his strengths, his weaknesses, and why he is a good fit for the Atlanta Hawks. Now, I'm going to let you know now, I'm a Hawks fan. I'm a little biased, but I'm not 100% sold that he is going to be the best fit for the Atlanta Hawks. So we're going to jump into his highlights. As y'all can see off top, he's going to be on a versatile defender, man. He's going to be able to switch out onto wings. He's going to be able to switch out onto guards. As we see right here in this first highlight, he's guarding another NBA prospect in Ron Holland, moving his feet. If you ask me, that's lock. That is getting locked down. And again, this is a 7'1" guy. He just listed at 220 pounds at the combine, and he has a 7'5" wingspan. Again, he's able to move his feet. He's quick. He's agile. He's young. He's athletic. These are the reasons why a lot of people have him going number one, and I like it. I really do like it. I think that's Jack Doyle. That's one of the better guards in the NBL. Again, guards getting downhill. He's right there with him every step of the way. And again, this is his strength. As you see in the top right-hand corner, I said Sarr has the attributes to be a high-level NBA defender. I feel like he can play the 4 to 5. I really think he'll be a better suited as a 4. And he'll offer rim protection, and he'll be able to switch on the perimeter. So that's what we're seeing here. We're seeing him protect the rim. We're seeing him play good drop coverage. Right here, good drop coverage, good drive. He didn't commit to the ball handler too quickly, and he gets a block. Again, here on Jack Doyle again, that was a Jack Doyle probably should have shot the floater, but still, he did what he had to do. Again, moving his feet. He's using his size, his wingspan, and he is protecting the rim. These are a plus when you're talking about playing next to a guy like Trae Young, potentially DeJounte Murray, DeAndre Hunter. The list goes on. We could use this type of defender, but again, I don't really love the fit here with Atlanta when you're talking about replacing a guy like Clint Capela. Clint Capela, he's known for protecting the rim. He's an anchor down low. And I just wanted to, set the expectations for Hawks fans watching this. This isn't a guy that's going to be able to bang and guard some of the best NBA centers when it comes to the league. Now, can he guard some fours? Can he guard some wings? Absolutely. I think that would be the role better suited for him. But I don't see him coming in day one and being better than Clint Capela, and I don't see him being better than Onyeka. I just don't. As we look at his tape, again, he's moving his feet. He's a great defender in space, but I don't think that he's a better defender than either Clint Capela or Onyeka when they enter the draft. So that says a lot. But again, when we're talking about his strengths, he's still versatile, man. Still a versatile defender, and I think that's his floor. As we see, we're going to see a lot of him blocking shots on these highlights if you can't tell. And these are the things that excites people. But if you want a true anchor down low, there's a guy of the name of Diamond Klingen. He's going to be the guy you want if you're looking for someone to replace Clint Capela. But again, I could watch these highlights all day. I could sit here sipping on my red wine all night and watching him play defense. I love defense. When I played basketball, that was my favorite side of the floor. I played football, was a defensive back. So I love the idea of stopping someone from attaining their goal, right? And I think Alex Sarr, he's shown so far in his highlights, and he's shown in the 1 year in the NBL that he's willing to play defense. He talked about it on the Ringer just recently. He didn't really start playing defense or understanding his defensive impact until about 2 years ago. So this is a guy that he's learning the position. He's learning how to use his body. And these things excite me. They do. But again, I'm not quite sold that, he's worth the number 1 pick in the NBA draft. So again, just enjoying these highlights, man. There's a lot to like. This is a guy that he averaged 17 minutes for the Perth Wildcats. He didn't start. In Australia, they're not big on starting these younger players. I want to say he was the best big on their roster, but I just don't think he was, man. He wasn't there yet. If he would have played next season, he would have definitely been the starter and probably one of the better players in this league. So, again, coming from someone that watched this league, I stayed up to 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning to watch this league a lot. I definitely think he would have been a good player. He would have helped the Perth, this season. But I still don't think that he would have been one of the better bigs in this league. Again, that's just my opinion. This is my first year watching the NBL, and they got some strong physical bigs in this league. This league is definitely a lot more physical. They don't call nearly as many fouls. And like I said, I don't know if he would have held up as a center. I really don't. As a 4, I think he'd be exceptional. I mean, we saw a couple plays ago, he's handling the ball in transition. I think that's going to also be one of his strengths. He's going to be able to get the ball up and down the court. And this is something that can help the Hawks, man. When you have a Trae Young, you can allow him to obviously, push in transition. But even if Jalen Johnson's wanting to push, DeJounte Murray, you can give him the ball early in transition, and you can get easy buckets with this guy. As you see there, he made himself available. He understands spacing. Got him an easy bucket. Like, these are things that definitely excite me when you picture him playing with an elite point guard. 2 elite playmakers, if you ask me, and maybe even JJ. Jalen Johnson is also a playmaking player. So, I mean, I see the excitement, but again, I don't know if he's worth the number 1 pick. I just don't. In this year's draft, maybe, but typically this is a guy that I would have liked to have picked right there at the end of the lottery, right there at our projected spot, at that 10th spot. This would have been a home run pick. But as we see, man, he just fluid. He's just fluid. He moves well. Again, going through his strengths as we watch the highlights. Again, we talked about him being a versatile defensive big. Talked about his rim protection, and we talked about his ability in, the open floor and transition offense. Things to be excited about. But now his weaknesses. And I think the first 2 kind of go hand in hand, right? His ability to rebound and his strength. So he averaged under 5 rebounds for the Perth. Recently, when he was playing for OTE out of Atlanta, Overtime Elite, he was averaging 6 rebounds. So we're going to jump into his improvement areas. Like I said, we're talking about the rebounding, we're talking about the strength. We're going to be talking about his shooting. I mean, as you see here, he's willing to let it fly. But his weaknesses are fixable, so that's encouraging. But with him being 7'1", I think he just listed at 6'11" at the NBA Combine. But with him being a 7-footer, that's 220 pounds, he's going to have to be able to stretch the floor, right? He's going to have to be able to hit this open shot. And he has good mechanics. He has, the willingness to take the shots, whether it's off the catch. He's taking shots off the dribble. He's not scared to shoot. These are the things this is what's going to make him an elite prospect. It's his ability to hit this shot. Can you catch it off the pick and can you let it fly? Now, he's showing that he's willing to do it. As we see here, he's doing it off the bounce. But can you do this, consistently against professional athletes? That's what worries me. Because again, when you're talking about the NBA or you're talking about his role, this is what we're gonna be asking this. We're gonna be asking him to do this the second he comes to the league. As we see though, when you're watching the highlights, he's willing to shoot it. So again, he has to have some type of weakness, right? He was averaging 10 points his first year with the Perth. Even at OTE, he was averaging 11 points. So I see his offensive ceiling being about 15 points per game. A guy that could potentially shoot 35% from three. He'd be able to spot up in that corner. But when you start saying these things out loud, what does that sound like? That sounds like a small forward. That sounds like a power forward. It doesn't sound like a center. And when you look at the Hawks roster, with his skill set, with his strengths, with his weaknesses, he fits better as a forward than he does a center. And I think that's the issue that the Hawks run into. You have Jalen Johnson. He has the four solidified. He'll be extension eligible this year. I think we're going to go on and try to lock him up going forward. We have Onyeka, a guy we just re-signed. He's undersized, but he is strong. He has strong hips. He has a strong base. Even though he is shorter, I still think he's pretty good defending NBA centers. So that leaves you with Alex Sarr as a potential number one pick. Who does he start over? Does he really take Clint Capela's position? Now, Clint Capela is going to be on an expiring deal, so Clint might not be with this team. But do we really think that Alex Sarr, his rookie season, is going to be better than Clint Capela? Maybe offensively, he has a little bit more versatility. But again, Alex Sarr's strength is defense. And I don't think that he will be a better defender than Clint Capela or Onyeka his first year in the league. So, uh, again, he fits better as a four, maybe even better as a small forward, in these super big lineups. Um, and again, those are things that worry me. And to me, that's what it ties back into what we were talking about earlier with his rebounding ability and his strength. You being 7'1" is cool and all, but man, this is the NBA. These are grown men. They're used to banging with guys that are 250, 260 pounds. Diamond Klingon is another prospect we'll talk about eventually. And he just listed at 280. He's 20 years old. He's coming into the league right with you, Alex R. And he's 7'2", 280. So again, these are things to think about when we're looking at Alex Sarr. These are things that the Hawks are going to be looking at. Okay, we like him as a prospect, but how does he really fit with this team? We already have an undersized guard, right, in Trae Young. We already have an undersized center in Onyeka. Does it really make sense to go get an undersized center in Alex Sarr? Again, I understand that he's 7'1". I understand he has a 7'5" wingspan. But is he a good fit truly for the Atlanta Hawks? And again, we're not talking about playing NBA 2K. We're talking about the NBA, and we're talking about, again, a guy that we're expected to come in and play defense. So these are questions I have. I'm sure the Hawks have similar questions. Y'all let me know in the comments. How do y'all feel about his ability to guard centers in NBA? Does he have to guard centers in NBA? These are real questions. When you're considering a number one pick, what will he be? So, like I said, I'm curious to hear what you all think. I think Alex Sarr will be an excellent player. I do think he'll benefit from a year maybe playing in the G League. Let him continue to grow. Let him bang, and let a coaching staff and let him develop and figure out what is his best position in the NBA. I don't think it's beneficial for this young man to go into a team and to be asked to be the starting center day one. I just don't. I mean, he didn't do that in Australia. I don't see him doing that in Atlanta. I just don't. I just don't. But I appreciate y'all joining me for another episode of Sip and Scout. We got a couple more prospects coming up. So y'all tap in, man. And again, like, subscribe, show some love. Appreciate y'all.